is what people have been doing, really reflecting on the things that actually matter and letting go of the things that do not. Big change, big movement, but if you never know when it's time to transition to the next evolutionary experience, you might as well live the life you want to live. And you might as well surrender to unconditional love. You might as well surrender to the our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to connect you to your individual healing journey and us as a collective and a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Yamonja, Oshun, Mawu, and all the Taurus. Please connect us to the Archangels, Spirit Guides, Spirit Animals, our lineage, and all for the highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us forth as a community. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In these moments, I'm just going to go through and take the opportunity to just read the energy, read the collective energy, and I'll let you know what comes up, but just relax. So continue to breathe in and out. Breathing in, filling all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Couple more. Final breath. Okay. Accept change is the message that is coming across, and we're going to use that in our session today as we're doing clearing out. But accept change. There's big, and when I mean big, I mean enormous change ahead of you within, I would say, the next couple of years. And by couple, I do mean like 2 or 3. There's a lot of change in front of you for what it is that you will be doing and focusing on in life. And so it is very important for you to embrace change. And what I mean by this is that when you are embracing change and you are stepping outside of yourself and you're connecting to a path that is bigger than the life that you had before, it feels like you are not in control. So within your life, if you feel that you are not in control or that there's pressure, whatever area it is pointing to is just letting you know that you have outgrown your life. So within the Patreon community, where we learn even more about different aspects of mysticism and esoteric things and all of that lovely stuff, what was coming up often is a feeling of, hey, this is a time for transformation, or oh, there's just a lot of stuff happening right now. And it's hard to really be happy when you have all this stuff. Well, if you feel like you've been particularly challenged recently, it's because you have outgrown your life. And outgrowing your life just means literally the way that you vibrate, because everything is an energetic vibration. The way that you're vibrating no longer aligns with the life that you have. You're actually being able to be expansive and go out there and get more. The problem is, it's scary. It might require you to learn things you don't know. It requires a sense of vulnerability and trust. And you have to be able to trust yourself. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do some Reiki symbols. I'm going to work on your energetic systems and do some clearing. And then we're going to go into doing the manifesting, because you all know me. I do not bring things in without clearing things out. Because when you bring things in without clearing things out, you become a hoarder. That's real. So let's clear out first. Let's clean things up before we add new things in. So, do you trust me? Okay. Breathing in and out. Exhale.
easier for most people to criticize themselves without even actually seeing if that critique has any basis. But it's really hard for them to be confident for no reason. Be confident, trust yourself. When we get into energy healing is a type of alternative medicine, and it lives within the realm of vibrational medicine, meaning a person being able to control or utilize their energetic systems in order to impact someone else, or instruments being used to be able to impact someone else's energetic systems. Let me give you an example. Homeopathy is an example in which you're taking, they're called remedies, but you're taking these little pellets that are interacting with your energy system. So in that way, you don't have a hands-on practitioner. You're having an inanimate object that's interacting and flowing with these invisible systems that live within us that have been documented. So within this, it is very important that the energy itself feels comfortable, feels aligned for the life that you want. So you have to learn how to let go. Now, we all have to do a little bit of work. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have to do a little bit of work. And that work really is just trusting yourself that you will show up for yourself in the best way possible. That's all you gotta do. Okay. Breathing in and out. And as you exhale, let it go. Let anything that has been holding you back or trying to hold on to you, or what I like to call irrational things, because since we've just come out of a Mercury in retrograde in Aquarius, what came up a lot for you is a lot of things that have to do with your social circles, your friendships, and where you play as a person on a team. I'm not lying. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? How does she know? The planets know, okay? There's nothing new under the sun. I tell you that all the time. But there was a lot of things to restructure about where you stand in teams, who your friends are, and how you live in friendships, and things like that. And our community, our sense of community, which is the most important part of this experience here, is something that can make someone feel like, even if they don't know anything, like, I can do it. And also it can make someone who knows a lot feel like, what am I doing? Community is important and community is key. So this is a moment to make sure that you have, it's lack of a better word, your tribe. But I feel like, let me use a better word. Let's just say community. Make sure that you have your people, make sure that you have your communities for the different things that you like and that you feel connected to. It is so important. That is really the message that's coming across for the solar plexus, in which the confidence comes from being able to feel like person. I think a lot of people get lost in this, and feel like it has to be one or the other. Feels like it has to be one or the other when it's not that at all. It is all involved. We need to get you as many resources as possible for you to be able to have access to what you need. So, jumping back into the example that I was using where things are like so tiny. Basically, to change someone's energetic flow when they are not feeling well is similar to changing their energetic flow when they want this dream job. Why? Because there is a false sense of reality going on. And this false sense of reality is working with your current energetic system. It has you in a routine or pattern to do things a certain way. You just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. But instead, what you need to do is change that energetic flow. Now, what's going to happen when you change that energetic flow to open you up and bring more in your life? It's going to get, let me not even say it like this. However you respond to change is exactly how it's going to feel. So if you're the type of person who embraces change, it's going to be exciting. If you're the type of person who fears change, it's going to be dissonant and uncomfortable. But that's the most important part to know. The reason that you're being blocked from getting what you want is because you're too afraid to accept a bigger life than what you have. The reason why you are being blocked from getting what you want is you're too afraid to accept a bigger life that you could have and the responsibilities that you need to have. You know, with greater power comes greater responsibilities. It requires you to do more, and that can be a little bit intimidating, especially if the solar plexus is off. So here we are going into now manifesting to bring into your life now. In your hands, go ahead and put your hands out. Just put your hand on my hand. I'm just going to move the energy. So when you are resting, okay, I'm just moving. You can give me both hands. Just take both of them. Or mentally as well. When you are resting, you are bringing this energy in and bringing this energy out. So I want you to practice energetically letting go and let that exhale align with the letting go. So let it go. Now bring it on in. Let it go. And bring it on in. Let it go. Bring it on in. Let it go. Bring it on in. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to accept this beautiful life that is in front of you. Don't be afraid to take that next step of whatever that is. And trust, no matter how scary or no matter how you feel like it might be difficult, that the universe has you. And also remember this point. I was bringing this up when talking about energy healing practitioners, that it is vibrational medicine, that it is a part of alternative medicine, and that you utilize it differently for different things that you want to do. But having a spiritual relationship is not required to be an energy healing practitioner or to work with energy. Is not required at all. The reason why I choose, and I don't force other people to have that. If you don't want to use it, if you want to separate, you have something else you believe in or you don't believe in, that's fine. The reason why I do it is because you have to believe in something bigger in order to get you through those moments that are scary. So the moments that you need to sit and you need to just embrace, for me, and I'm not saying that this is everybody, this is what everybody needs. For me, I think of the universe, I think of source, I think of God, whatever it is you want to call it, that you feel comfortable calling it. That's what I think of. That is what I call out to. Thank you, universe, for blessing me, giving me so much, giving me this opportunity. That's what I believe. Now, you have to go on that journey and decide what you believe in. I tell people all the time, don't believe in things that I believe just because I'm doing it. It is more important and more impactful that you go through the journey yourself and figure out what it is that is important to you, whether that is a combination of things, whether that is a pre-existing tradition, which we call religions, or whether it's a combination of all kinds of things. well, family. I enjoyed this time together in these moments. I want you to know that you have something so precious. You have a passion in your heart that's trying to come out into life, into the physical. And that you are lucky because you need to do everything you possibly can do to bring that passion out of your soul and to fulfill your life's mission to be able to do that. Everyone's is going to be different. Everyone is going to have their own, journey. But the fact that there are some people who don't have any goal or drive or will, and if the only thing stopping you is being afraid, that's something you can work through, because you already know what you want. You just got to get to the other side. And once you get yourself going and flowing, you're going to look back on your life 2 to 3 years and be like, whoa, that's crazy. Upgraded. Well, go ahead and comment in the comment section what came up for you during this healing session. I also am taking requests. So go ahead and request any type of healing video that you are looking to experience coming up soon. I'm so grateful. Thank you for sharing your hearts and your space and your homes and your relaxation. I am always channeling for your greatest good, and I cannot wait to see your purpose in the physical. I'm going to keep an eye out for it, okay? Please like, comment, subscribe. That's how our videos get around. Share it as well with other community members that you feel like will really benefit from these videos. And more important than anything, come back each and every night. We are community. You are not alone. We have a video every night of the week. There's a ton of other stuff happening, like on the weekends, Array Tarot, and then there's the podcast, and then there's Patreon, which has its own other stuff. So at no point are you ever alone, okay? So I've had a couple of very yummy moments with quite a few sounds, and I'm more connecting with the ASMR for a long time, a very, very long time. Even though I liked ASMR, I watch it all the time myself, I never really connected with myself, or I never identified myself as an ASMR artist. I think it's because I was really so heavily focused on the energetic healing that I didn't want anyone to think that what we're doing here was a role play. And so I said it many times, hey, this is what I am, this is what I am. But I would be crazy if I didn't admit clearly not the first person to ever have done that before. It's flattering of myself that I thought I was. I also remember that when I was younger, my aunt used to fall asleep to like natural sounds. It would be like rain and water and stuff, but it would be so loud and like I couldn't fall asleep. I'm like, why is she listening to this, like crickets and stuff? Because for me, for a long time, I needed silence. Like I used to go to sleep with like little not earbuds, but the little ear, like noise canceling or reduction earpieces. I would go to sleep with those because that was like this short-end thing to get me to sleep. But I don't know if you all have experienced this using that for sleep. Oh yeah, so sleep advice if you need some sleep, and you don't need an alarm to wake up, which probably isn't realistic. Most people need an alarm to wake up anyway. If you need some sleep, go ahead and try some earplugs to see if it helps you sleep better. Because I'm a heavy sleeper when I'm asleep, but going to sleep I'm very, very light. And so when I would put it in, it will help me sleep the whole night. But I don't know if you all experience this with like the earplugs, but for me, I noticed that I actually wake up more tired. And I think the reason why I wake up more tired is that in the middle of the night when you don't have any earplugs or anything, there's just random normal noises, like the house will change, you know, the pressure of things will change. You'll hear things in the street, you'll hear things in the window, you'll hear your own leg or something like that. All of these things which are very normal and natural. And so I think as you get closer and closer to like when you wake up in the morning, you're then at a place where you're like, oh, you're a little bit more awake. So it's been a while for you to kind of like, oh, okay, now I'm awake. Whereas when you have the earplugs, as soon as you wake up, you've had no distraction. So you're probably really, really deep in the dreaming that you have been doing for however long. Well, that's what I notice at least. Also, shout out to a power nap. Took a half an hour nap. Y'all know about a power nap. Power nap before the club. So a power nap is that nap that you take in the middle of the day and like you're short on time, but it just makes the difference. Like you went to sleep, you woke up, you're like, I'm good, and you have no clue how you got all of that out of 30 minutes. Or like, I'll give you a better example, like you're somewhere and you're just nodding off, like something like maybe that's kind of like boring, you're nodding off, but something about nodding off that whole time, once everything is done and you gotta get up, you feel like rejuvenated, you're like, yeah, I feel energized, I got my little sleep in. Because I think most of the time we're all just here looking for sleep. I know I am. And my dog, he snores, he chases in his sleep, he does all kinds of stuff. He pants because he's so hot, because he has so much fur. He has so much fur that I actually get his fur cut down, which turns him into a very different looking breed of dog. But anyway, he's usually hot, just so much that we have to reflect internally about, so much that we have to find the confidence to make the world into the world that we want, not one that isn't inclusive of all. So much. So much. I feel like I'm playing a flute. It smells so good. 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 So this has to be a part 1, because then part 2 could be something else. It smells so good. Okay. I just want you all to believe in yourselves. I know that's one of my goals. Though I cannot control you, that's not my business, that's your own business. But I want you to believe in yourselves. That's my hope. That's my intention I'm putting out there. Because how beautiful is a life that you enjoy and that you are striving towards things that really matter to you. Well, family, I enjoyed our time together. I hope you enjoyed this relaxing session to just sit back and enjoy some of these various sounds. You're the bomb.com, and there's nothing else to say about that. But just know that you're never alone. You have a community here, and you can come back anytime you want. There's videos every day, Monday through Friday. There's videos on Reiki Tarot as well, which is another community. There's the podcast that drops every Monday. There's Patreon, which has its own stuff that is happening. There is always someone here for you, okay? Always. Always, 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 always. So never feel alone. And I got some more surprises coming April 1st, so be patient. But I make no promises. You want to know why? Because I like to talk to you. But if you're new to the community, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, if you feel like this video or another video could really help somebody in need, it's a free resource. Go ahead and send it out to them. And just come back each and every day. There's no reason to ever have to be alone. We have a video every day of the week, Monday through Friday. There's videos on the weekend on Reiki Tarot, which is another community. The podcast drops on Mondays, and on Patreon we have even more stuff. They have their own things that they're doing there. So there's never a space where you're not, or there's never a space where you will be alone and you won't have what you need, because even though it feels like strangers on the internet, surprisingly people are very supportive and very loving, and that has been one of the biggest surprises that I really appreciate about sharing this practice online. So thank you. obviously it did, but Mormonism, and I think that that probably has a lot to do with the rise of the Housewives of Salt Lake. And of course, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And so there's this conversation, but then the like anti-blackness and the racism that happens in that is just very fascinating. And so I say all of these things to say that, you know, looking at even in fantasy where people are going to escape the everyday things that they are looking and seeing, they are still being influenced in very deep ways. So, you know, always reflect on things. It's just, I find it fascinating. But I'm also a Scorpio rising, and so that just might be me being me at this moment. And I'm pretty proud of myself because I didn't talk that much. Even though y'all might like to hear me talk. I didn't know if it's just one of those things where it's like, you might want to take a little nap. I'm down for a nap. I am so down for a nap. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Very relaxing, very chill. If you want to see some more ASMR things, let me know. Again, I am an energy healing practitioner. That is what we do here. But I also really enjoy ASMR, so I'm not opposed to like crystal tapping and, you know, different stuff, and like utilizing the tools that we have now to add to the ASMR experience. Your girl is open, so go ahead and put that in the comment section and share your stories. You never know, by sharing your story, who you impact in a positive way, and you never know who will read a story and then feel like, wow, I'm not doing this alone. And I think that that's what is so amazing about this community, that we all come from all these different, you know, ways of life, but yet together as a collective we want to be here, and we want to grow, and we want to, you know, just be great and be connected with others too. That we're going to be working with today. And I actually have a beautiful tree. Let me show you the tree. It is a money tree. And it most definitely works. Just some things that I do with the tree when I'm working with earth. I like to use the soil. Soil in general is very grounding, and I'll put things in the soil. So specifically what I did here is look, I'm about to give you all my secrets, y'all. Oh, does this sound good? Okay, I'll do was the succulent. Number one, I love succulents. I don't know, it's just something about them. I've always admired them. I always thought that they were like thicker than a Snicker, like, you know, they're like nice and thick, and they're great for, you don't have to feed them too much. They're pretty good with varying climates, and they're just so long lasting. I really feel like it's a representation or an analogy for life anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by giving you an opportunity to think of whatever it is that you have been trying to work on this magical March. Now, I'm not going to tell you to not get to your coins, okay, and want this big external goal, but sometimes the external goals can actually be fixed by an internal goal. It just happens naturally. So really challenge yourself to go inside and do that internal work, okay? So bring that goal to the forefront. And this is alive. Everything is vibrational, you know, no matter what it is, a liquid, a gas, a solid, just the particles are vibrating at different frequencies. That's science. That's, you know, that's just it, okay? This is alive. This is a plant. This is a living thing. This is something that is sucking up, you know, the carbon dioxide and sending out oxygen and bringing life. So whenever you want something, a goal, especially if it's birthed from the beginning to grow, you can always use this analogy for a plant. So what we're going to do is you can either infuse something like a crystal, or you can write something like a spell, a mantra, a prayer in a piece of paper. If you're going to do it in a piece of paper, I'll show you. Do it with a piece of paper. This is what you would do. So I have this really cute little book that I like to use just for random thoughts and things like that. And so what I'll do here is I'll go to a blank page and I'll make a decision of what it is that I want to write. So here's my blank page. I'm going to write it out. I would typically use a pen, you know, just... And at this point, you are going to be writing out whatever it is that you want, your wish, your spell, you know, the thing that you've been trying to manifest at that moment. Let me get a pen. Okay, see, great, I got the pen. The pen. Now you write what you want. I'm going to say, I'll just put mine. And you have to write it from as if you already have it, and write it in a statement of gratitude. Sign it, you cannot sign it. It's up to you of how you like to do things. So here's mine. You probably can't really see it, but I'm gonna take it and now I'm gonna burn it. So in this moment we're gonna use a little bit of fire. Here it is. So this could be your spell, your mantra, your petition, your reflection, your words. It's whatever it is you want. So what I wrote for mine, and I told you that for this magical March, I've been working on inside. So I said, I am so grateful to de-traumatize my life experiences and live in a space of peace. So holding myself accountable that even on the inside, as I go out in the world, I'm always living from a space of peace. And there we go. Oh, does that sound good? Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to burn it. You're going to say it over and over. You're going to concentrate on it. You can visualize So this is a little mini, I don't know if you can see it that well. It's actually a little mini tiger's eye. Let me see if it works better over here. You may not be able to see that anyway. It is a little mini tiger's eye. It actually looks like a little eye. And so we'll just make it very generic, and we'll say that this is, we'll just make it very generic, and we'll say that this is just for courage, okay? What you would want to do, and preferably you could probably use an even smaller stone, is you would want to place this stone somewhere that's not going to disturb the plant. Now this stone might be a little bit too big for the plant, because you definitely don't want to hurt it too much, but this is also a thicker plant, so it's probably going to be okay. And you put, see, I just put it right on top, and instead of writing whatever it is you want down, you're going to infuse it into the stone. So you can start off your session in whatever way it is. You say a prayer, you say gratitude, you just walk around, you get in a meditation session, whatever that is. You place it between your hands, and you close your hands. So give me your hands, okay? I'm going to close my hand over your hand, and we are going to infuse it with whatever intention you want, okay? Take 3 deep breaths with me. Every time you exhale, infusing the zone with that intention. 2 more. Final breath. Ashe, ashe, okay? And you can focus as long as you want, keep it very simple. But sometimes as you're flushing through what you really want on the inside, it might take quite a while for you to just let it all go. And so we would take that, and then we would place the stone on the plant, and it's the same process of every time you see the stone, you can pick it back up, you can hold it, you can recharge that intention, you can water the plant itself. Again, be very mindful of the size of the stone. If it was a very thick stone, I would say put it on the actual dirt, not on the plant. You don't want to kill the plant. Just in general, you don't want to kill your plant unless that is a part of the process. You're using some type of herb or something like that, and just allow this to grow and allow it to be. And then once you're ready, now you just have to choose a duration of time which makes sense to you. You're going to naturally feel when it is the right moment. Then you take the stone and you can use it in your practice. Now when I say you'll know the right moment, it means you might let the stone stay there for 10 minutes. You might let it stay there for 2 days, for 10 days, for 15 days or something. Whenever you're ready, and whatever that intention is, especially during a trying time, you want to go ahead and get that stone, pick it up, and you can take it with you. You can use it in your practice. So you can put the stone out as a part of, say you're pulling cards. You can put it a part of your spread, and naturally allow for you to connect to which card to place this on top, which will give some clarity with that. Or you can just, like most crystals, put it in your pocket, put it in your bra, or put it wherever it is that you want to put your stone, and walk around with it and use that. If it is a healing session, you can place this stone on whichever chakra that is most appropriate for you, and whatever it is that you're trying to do. But that is how you use this earth magic. Again, stones, crystals, things like that. It is not limited to just, I showed you an example with plants and a stone, but you can use herbs within itself. Like for example, when we get into fire, of course, we got our cinnamon, but this is still as much earthy as anything else. Why? Because you can use cinnamon in water, and that is I want to use the word tincture, but that is, or infusion. I don't feel like infusion is the word I want to use. It is I want to say concoction. It is an infused experience of both earth and water. It is an infused experience of both earth and water, in which you're getting that earthy, that groundedness, that stability, and you're getting the water, which is that fluidity, the calming of the emotions, the calming of the seas. And so you can do one thing at a time, but even when we feed our plants, we're feeding our plants with water. Even when we're lighting the cinnamon, we're lighting it with fire. Even when we have fire, what are we going to do if we put the fire out? We extinguish it with air or water or something like that. Now, if you have a very big fire, never put water. Like if you have a grease fire, do not put water on a grease fire. Why? Because it will make it worse. If you have a large fire, you either have to Like, so you're gonna get water, you're gonna get fire, you're gonna get earth, and you're gonna get air. So today, we are gonna start it off with a water session, and we are gonna be using and infusing various liquids, placing them on your chakras, and doing some type of manifesting work. And I'm also gonna show you how to do it, okay? So if you're new to the community, remember to like, comment, subscribe, but more importantly, meet us back every day where we have this channeling session for the greatest good. If you're new to the community and you really want to learn more about these metaphysical principles, head over to the Patreon community. I actually have a lot of updates for the Patreon community, so they're gonna find out. If you're not a part of it, you're not gonna find out. But a lot of really fun and amazing things coming up. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and get started in the session. So you all really enjoyed the Florida water last time. And so with this water session, we are going to be focusing on the healing, or honestly magical principles, which can be used for healing, manifesting, happiness, just all kinds of things, intention work, divination, psychic abilities. We're going to work on using liquids in various forms and their properties. So last time we already talked about the Florida water, which is alcohol based, and I said I really enjoy using it during different burning ceremonies, because in those ceremonies it is very flame attractive, but also represents so much more. So the first thing that we can do, actually let me introduce the other liquids too, because you already know a bit about the Florida water, which you will see commonly across different lineages. The two most popular things that you will see across various lineages would be some form of Florida water, people using it. They typically use it as a cleansing spray, or they'll use it to do kind of like what I'm doing, like manifesting, channeling work. Traditionally what it was is it was a men's cologne. And then the second thing we have, let me make sure I got the right one, is we have an oil. Specifically, this is an apricot oil. I enjoy apricot, so I've been doing that. But it is an apricot seed or apricot kernel oil. And what you do is you can anoint the oils. There are many examples across various lineages with the infusing of oils. Now, oils can be applied directly onto the skin, like through massaging or for some type of ointment or something like that. It can also be used in a ceremony as well, like when you are being cleansed, you may receive oil in this area specifically, and depending on your lineage. So this typically comes from the anointing of oils. And as you can see, this one takes much longer to drip. You don't need that much. And also, as a going into your session, whatever your session is, you can infuse and anoint oil. You can place it on your palms, and you can start whatever work you're going to do. So if you were to sit and infuse a particular liquid, a oil or something like that, when you go into a session in a bigger space, this adds to your abilities of what you're doing, okay? I like to put them in these little jars because I feel like they really help with proportion amount. I'm not going to be walking around with a big ass bottle of oil. Aesthetically very pleasing as well. But is. This is just Castile soap. That's all this is. Castile soap is oil soap. And what oil soap is, like Dr. Bronner's or Dr. Woods or things like that, oil soap is when you, or if you ever go and look at very, very natural soaps, they often will have they're oil based, and what happens is you use various oils. Common oils would be hemp, coconut, safflower, apricot, and in the soap making process, a chemical process is added, typically lye. And I know it sounds very scary, but it's not as scary as you think. It is either lye is added or lye becomes a byproduct anyway. There's no lye in the soap, but it allows this oil to be able to become frothy and be able to cleanse not just the body in a very natural way, but anything around. And so this is the original soap making process. So no worries there. This is how people across many traditions have been doing it for a long time. And so this is something where specifically client-based or yourself, you can infuse your soap so that as they go and they cleanse themselves, they might do an Epsom salt bath and they get up and they cleanse themselves. They can use this infused soap that is hypoallergenic. It's not gonna, cause any allergies or anything. They can use that within their body, or if it's a part of their everyday practice of like washing their face, they can use it with their face. I do use Castile soap on my face, and some people feel like it is a very harsh soap, but I also use hyaluronic acid in Cetaphil. So I mean, it's fine. I have very dry, very sensitive skin, and it works fine for me. Side note, I really wanted to like Fenty Skin, and I used it and I broke out, and I was like, oh, I really want to love this. But this has always worked really well. So as you can see, this one kind of is a consistency that's in between. That is in between the oil and the liquid. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the actual cleansing for you. Now that you know how to do these things, I'm just going to make sure everything is okay. And just relax. As you know, if you're new to the community, we start the practice off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to root you down in your individual healing experience and to bring us closer as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Yamonja, Oshun, Mawu, and all the Taras. Please connect us to the Archangel, Spirit, Guide, Spirit, Animals, our lineage, and all for the highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us forth as a community. I say all of this in the name of I Am Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. And also want to take a moment to recognize the power of three if you are really into Charmed. But in general, the power of three, whenever you see something 3 times, hear something 3 times, you say something three times, it really cements it into the universe that, hey, this person is saying something, or this energy heavy perfumes in it. If you happen to have sensitive skin, no worries, you don't need to put it around you. There are other solutions, like you can infuse herbs in alcohol and use it, and it's just as good. This is just something that you'll see in local community spaces. So instead of placing this directly on your skin, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to aerate it, and so eventually you will start to smell this, cleansing your aura, making sure you are highly protected, that you are loved, that you are at peace, that you have abundance, and that most importantly you are vibrating at a level that is best for your highest vibrational good. Okay? Just count as many as you need to expand your energy. Keep on breathing. To expand your energy. To expand your energy. To expand your energy. Okay? Good job. I'm going to take it and move around the aura. And again, the primary, this is primarily used for cleansing, and like I showed you last time, it can be used as I want to use the word sacred, but let's say an intentional liquid for manifesting work. So at this moment, I'm just making sure your aura is nice and protected, that your chakras are expanded in the way that you need them to be, and that your third eye is activated. So just follow that. And then I'll do a little bit kind of a calmer thing. Just follow that and let it go. Just follow it. Follow it. Okay, let it go. Okay. In that moment, I don't know why, I was just like, boop, boop, be do. visible, but it is still the intention in the moment and how you walk into it. So that's next level. That's it. That's the advanced player. Player. So I'm just gonna place a little bit right here on your third eye. Can I touch you? Okay, I don't want to be all up in your space if it's weird. Okay, so I'm gonna put just a dab. I try not to touch it with my fingers because I don't, you just want to keep things clear, okay? Bacteria is real. Okay, so just taking this moment and rubbing this all around that third eye, okay? And this is also something, depending on your lineage, Christians might do a cross, or if you're coming from a certain tradition, you might do, for example, I might do a Reiki symbol on top. Okay, it just depends on what you align with, and of course you can do multiple as well. Okay. Sending the highest intention of peace, joy, love, satisfaction, happiness, and clarity and love. So much love, so much abundance in the life that you want. And I'm going to add something else: to not let fear prevent you from living life. Okay. 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 Now, for those who really love and enjoy skincare, that is also an opportunity in which you can infuse many things. You can infuse candles, you can infuse herbs, you can infuse the elements that go into skincare, like oils and liquids and stuff like that. You can infuse any of those things. Okay. Beautiful. And last but certainly not least would be the soap. And so what I would do, if we were in person, this would be a moment in which I would place the oil on your hands. Go ahead. Put your hands out. We gotta do it. You're gonna place the oil on the hands. Okay. Let's give you some more oil. Okay. Now rub your hands together. Keep rubbing. Really rubbing in that intention and that life work. And then just go ahead and take the hands to the face. You don't have to touch your face if you don't want to. It can just be in front, over, through the body, through the back. Wipe clean, okay? And I would come in and bless you. So I'm going to say another prayer here. And again, it's not a religious prayer, but I'm going to say another prayer to really seal everything in. Thank you, universe, source, God, or whatever this beautiful energy is, connecting in with the highest energy and the highest intent, so that they may be blessed, that they may be abundant, that they may have clarity and grounding, that they remove themselves from any lower vibrational experiences that are no longer working, and also have the clarity of practicality of enjoying life, but not letting fear or anything else, any obstacle or challenge prevent them from going forth. Let all of this beautiful intention work impact their life in a positive way, and allow them to let go of anything they've been holding on. Self-shame, share something with the community. Share something with the community. Hey, I do X, Y, and Z. Cool, sounds good to me. So family, I know it is that time, but let me just go ahead and say, before I actually get to the end, there's a lot of changes happening, okay? And I am going to be dramatically expanding a lot of things. So, April 1st, it is not April Fool's when I say to you that it's going to be very new, but in a fantabulous way. Just want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be in this space. Thank you for allowing yourself to be so brave and grow. Whether you are a new person or you've been around for quite a while, I'm so proud of you. And I know that you have done some really amazing stuff. So don't always judge yourself by the things that happen externally. Judge yourself by the internal movement too. Just being able to have a healthy sense of self-worth is much better